Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. 'Tis I, Mike Martins, bringing another edition of Trends in the Housing Market. The date today is October 31st, aka November 1st for most of the world, but still October 31st, Halloween, where I'm at. I want to wish everyone a happy All Hallows Eve. And yes, I was a pirate, and no, I'm not wearing my patch tonight because I can't see the screen. It's bad enough already, you know what I'm saying? So let's kick off some major articles here. Major articles. You guys have no idea. I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 22, 4, 6, 8, 32, 4. 34 headlines from the English-speaking world. From Australia to the UK. From New Zealand to Australia, Australia to the UK, from the UK across to Canada, down to the United States of America. It is a global English-speaking crisis. All English-speaking countries with the free markets. Come in and buy me out. Buy out my kids. Hell, buy out my grandkids. I want to line my pockets for a special edition of Trends in the Housing Market. Let me take a little sip of water here. I'm really tired, guys. I had a long day today. Then I had a Halloween party. First, I took the kids trick-or-treating for like 2 hours, 3 hours walking, and then we went to a Halloween party. Busy. Very, very busy day today. So, let's kick it off with Metro Vancouver housing collapse. Guys, someone in Australia, can you do one for Sydney or Melbourne? Someone could do one for Auckland and call it Metro Auckland or New Zealand housing collapse, or do one for Australia called Australia. I'm trying to find ones on Facebook that match this kind of thing, and create a Facebook page and I'll plug it here on my channel, and then we'll get people to follow it. Okay, then we'll have like Australia housing collapse. We'll have UK housing collapse. Ireland needs its own because it's on its own. Like it's kind of a different housing situation they have there. Have one for the United States. Maybe have one for California. And then this way the groups could unite and they can start posting things like this in their local area. There is some Australia posted on here. Right here. Sydney house prices see biggest fall in 30 years, dragging the rest of Australia down. So this is good because people from other places are seeing what's happening in the housing market from other parts of the world. So I've been tackling or tying in all the English-speaking language countries for the last 6 years now, that there's a phenomena happening. It's not normal, and it's beyond anyone's belief that what's going to happen here. So, okay, guys, Metro Vancouver housing collapse Facebook page. It strongly recommend. Come check it out. Join it. I'm in it myself, so, and let's move on. Okay, what's going on? So let's kick off what's happening right now in Canada. So we're going to be reading more headlines today than actual articles. There is just so much happening. You guys have no idea. Insured mortgages on Canadian real estate are dropping at the fastest rate ever. This is a big problem. Don't tell your friends, but the bottom of the Canadian real estate market is disappearing fast. Bank of Canada, BOC numbers show that the balance of insured mortgages debt is down. In Q2 2018, the decline of insured debt isn't just negative either. The drop of the balance of insured mortgage credit is the largest. One sec, guys. Where'd it go? Oh, it's the decline insured, the drop insured is the largest in Canadian history. This is a big deal. Over $508 billion in mortgage debt is insured. Here's the Canadian mortgage debt. Look at it decline like an elephant. Boop. It's doing that elephant thing. See the elephant trunk there? Canadian insured mortgages credit change. Look at 2012. Went nuts. And look at it now. Woof. It's it's going back to 2008 numbers right here. Look at that. Look at that, Q2 2018. It's even worse than that. Next. Canadian Reserve mortgage debt rises over 42%. Growth begins to accelerate. Again, I don't know why people are taking on debt they can't pay back. A lot of senior Canadian real estate owners are still seeing their home equity die a slow death, but the rate of growth is tapering. Reverse mortgages explained for millennials. So basically it explains reverse mortgages, HELOC, second mortgages. We talked about it on the show. Canadians now owe $3.03 billion in reserve mortgage debt. It's a huge problem. That's a huge problem. Canadian reserve mortgage debt, there it is here. Look at it. Look at it just skyrocket and take off. Just over $3 billion. Massive pace of growth may be tapering. And Canadian reverse mortgage debt change, there it is here. Obviously, people are running out of equity, right? The rate of growth is falling, but it's unlikely to go negative anytime soon considering the product. Since the debt is issued to a demographic of people on fixed incomes, it's highly unlikely to be paid off. That means it continues to snowball into larger liability as time goes on. As interest rates rise, so does the rate of equity that dies until the sweet release of death. So, if you're on a fixed income, you're screwed. I'm not trying to tell people not to be on a fixed income, but Canadian mortgage growth falls to the lowest level since .com crash. Oh my God, they had cassette recorders back in that time. Slowing Canadian real estate sales are cooling mortgage growth very quickly. Bank of Canada show numbers of mortgage credit growth continue to decelerate in September. The annual pace of growth for outstanding mortgage credit is now the slowest pace we've seen in 17 years. On track to go lower. This week's top stories. Toronto and Vancouver find itself with more new home inventory, and the CMHC think Canada is overpriced. Oh man, of course it is. This week's top story. Toronto and Vancouver. I'm going to go here. The Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation, Canada's national housing agency, thinks Canadian real estate is overpriced. The agency's quarterly report calls the national market overvalued and highly vulnerable. Toronto and Vancouver were both called out for both of these factors as well. Montreal, on the other hand, is moving with region's fundamentals. Vancouver is the fastest cooling real estate market in Canada. Toronto not far behind. Canadians hang on to more cash, but still looking at a credit slowdown. Greater Toronto new homes see fewer sales in September 2008. And Vancouver pre-sale real estate supply is ramping up, sales drop. So people are not buying no longer pre-sales anymore. And let's move on. Lots to cover here, folks. Here's the financial roast. Yeah, the financial roast. Canadians should get used to the idea of 3% interest rates, says Bank of Canada's Stephen Pelosi. So they're going to be raising rates, people, and they're going to keep raising them and raising them. And then that's the bank. Ottawa, Bank of Canada, Stephen Pelosi wants Canadians to get used to the idea of 3% interest rates as the new normal now that the era of rock bottom borrowing costs is gradually fading away. So who's going to clean up the mess? The party's over. Pelosi raised the benchmark rate last week for the fifth time in just over a year, 1.75%, the highest level in about a decade. He sent signals that the future hikes could arrive sooner than previously expected, in a large part due to the economy's resilience and removal of some of the business uncreditedly following the recent agreement on an updated North American trade pact. So guys, here's the deal. I was talking to an economist, fundamentalist, so we were kind of discussing rates back and forth, and we were looking at the GDP, we were looking at exports, we're looking at the different realms of taxation, we were looking at production, we were looking at fabrication, we were looking at our major and strong exports and major domestic products and stuff like that. We went through everything, and Canada needs to be at 5.9 to 6.5% at a comfortable interest rate for it to function properly. I know it sounds nuts, but that's where it's got to be at. That's just, you know, what I'm saying, you know, what I'm, you know. And that's just what I'm saying. That's what it should be at. That's what rates should be posted at right now. 5.9 to 6.5. Kind of going off rough numbers that we have and what we have for liquidity, volatility in our markets, and how to stabilize and mainstream our economy, you know. Let's move on. So guys, get used to higher rates. Here's my man, Tyler Durden. Luxury home prices in Singapore soar 13% as Vancouver prices crash 11%. Singapore is now overtaking Hong Kong as the top city for luxury home price gains in Q3. Luxury homes in Singapore were up 13% the quarter from the year to prior, according to Knight Frank LLP's Global City Index. The rising prices were partially the result of limited supply of higher-end properties. So here's Singapore, Edinburgh, Scotland's up there now. Madrid's getting up there. San Francisco's up there for sure. Madrid and San Francisco, and then boom, look at the declines. Wow. Dubai is falling. Taipei is falling. Stockholm's falling. Istanbul is falling. Vancouver's falling. Wow. Hong Kong instead fell to 14th place with just 5.5% year-over-year gain during their quarter. So there's a market swap index right there from Singapore, Hong Kong. Then you got prime global city indexes. That's not a bad chart. This is not a bad article, actually. Here's Global Residential Cities Index Q3 2018. So this, guys, take a look at this when you get some time on your spare time. Here, I'll leave the link in the comments there if you guys want to see it yourselves. Really good article. Zero Hedge is always on the money when it comes to making these articles. Let's move on. My reality check, guys. Check this out. I want to plug this. Just put your zip code in here, and it tells you the average area price change. Look at the price changes. Holy smokes. Everything's in the negatives. What is this, by quarter? By dollar amounts? Where's the overall change? Average change? It doesn't say if it's from by year, quarterly. Oh, this is like bi-monthly here. Average percentage change. Here it is. Whoa, everything's dropping. So here it is, guys. Everything's in the negatives. So average percentage and average price. So Vancouver is down 6.64%, 6.27% in Coquitlam. Langley 5.82. So it goes right across here. This is a really good article. This is a really good article. This will help out a lot of people waiting on the sidelines to buy in the market. But guys, don't jump on the market right now, eh? Do not jump on the market. Right now is not a good time to buy. What's his name? Formafist Network made a video. You guys check it out. It's called "Now is Not a Good Time to Buy." I'll leave a link to that article there in the chat there, if you guys want to read it. But right now, see, go in there. See, look at all the properties on a downturn. You see this? You see this, guys? All this red? That means it's all down. These are all down. There's one or two areas that are up. Everything's red down. And where you don't see it down is because there's no housing there. It's because it's a park or something, or there's not a lot of homes for sale in that area. Look at this. This is mental. Look at this. Holy Christ. Up here is mountains, so there's no houses up there, right? So what? Wow. Okay, guys, I left the link for it in the chat if you guys want to check it out. Everything's down right now, which is a good sign. Now, let's head south of Vancouver to Seattle housing market. It's going down, people. We've been following the Seattle market ever since they implemented the foreign buyer's tax in Vancouver, where the average house in Seattle went from $230,000 to like $1 million in the matter of a year. So here it is here. Let's watch this thing here. I don't know if there's music on this or... Hold on. I don't know why this has no audio here. I probably have no audio here. Yes, I do. We don't have audio. See if this thing gets... Did I lower my audio on my speakers? No, I got audio on my speakers. Oh, too bad. I wanted to see what these guys had to say here. I don't have my headphones plugged in. I'd like to know. Okay, let's just read a bit of the article then. Too bad. Okay, house sits on the market, average 39 days. Prices are down 4.4% compared to early last year. King County continues to be the most expensive market in the state. So, the scene is bleak outside of Joseph Wiss's Seattle townhouse. 3 for-sale signs line the street just a block off the water. Wise's is one of them. Wise's home of 6 years has been on the market for 67 days, something almost unheard of in Seattle just months ago. We definitely didn't think it was going to take this long, Wise told Como Tuesday. We've lowered it 3 times now. For more than the past year, Puget Sound region has been the hottest housing markets of the nation. Full bidding wars and skyrocketing prices. So before the foreign buyers tax went into Vancouver, everybody, once it was implemented, everybody went down to Seattle, and then like 30-40% went to Toronto. And that's why the prices up there went skyrocketing. But in Seattle, they didn't put any buyer's tax or any of that stuff, right? So now what's happening is no one's buying homes anymore because the people that could afford to buy homes can't afford to buy them anymore because they left the state. A lot of people left Washington State, right? How many techies or tech workers are you going to find? You're not going to find that many tech workers to fill up a whole city. But according to Windermere chief economist Matthew Gardner, there's been some change according to analysis on Thursday. Home prices were down. You want to know what the change is? It's the capital outflows of China. No more money leaving China anymore. And that's what's happening. And that's why these cities are... Let's see if this one works. Man, there's no audio. Well, that sucks. I kind of wanted to watch this to see what they said. There's no audio on the video. That's fine. So, Seattle. We're not getting crazy bidder wars anymore. Buyers are having time to do their due diligence. I just think people are freaking out and want to sell their home and have a lot of equity. So they have equity. So what good is equity if you can't cash it out? And that's what's happening right now in Seattle. Seattle got hammered. Big time. Big time. Their prices went up in 2 years, skyrocketed, making it the hottest. King County became the hottest county in the country because a lot of outside money was coming. What happened was, I even know some of these people personally. A lot of these real estate agents in Vancouver went down to King County, to Seattle, Tacoma, like the Washington, Olympia. They went there to talk to the real estate agents there and said, like, I got clients in China. And then that's what... They were even making pamphlets to buy in Seattle and brochures all in Chinese and Mandarin. You couldn't... It wasn't even in English. It wasn't even produced for the people that live there. So that's what happened there. Let's move on. Average Seattle area home fell below the list price for the first time in 4 years. Here it goes. There it goes. For the first time in 4 years, the average house sells for a bit below the listing price in Seattle across the surrounding metro area. Another sign that the hectic market has finally calmed down for burned-out buyers. A lot of people left. A lot of people left the state. A lot of people got fed up, just like in Vancouver, and in all the way along the coast, the whole West Coast. In most of the country, it's normal and even expected for buyers to negotiate the list price down. But this is Seattle, a place where the asking price had become merely a starting point, destined to be built up. So, back in the day, you would go see 5-6 houses, put an offer on one house, send an inspector. Inspector says it needs this, this, this. Okay, how much does he want for the house? $300. Tell him $275. Go back $275. They come back and say $290. Okay, we'll take $290. That's it. That's how it works. Now they're not even getting the auctions out right now. As recently as May, a time to be seen. In hindsight and perhaps the peak of the market, homes in Seattle were selling on average 6.3% above list price. According to Redfin, now they're going for 0.6% below asking. That's the way it's supposed to be, but it's still too expensive for the average American. The average American needs to be making $300-400 grand a year to buy a house in Seattle. The actual list price of homes at similar rate in all sales prices have dropped nearly 7%, or $55,000 in Seattle since the spring. In fact, the past month, Seattle area home prices dropped more than anywhere else in the country. According to the UK Schiller Home Price Index released Tuesday, the index showed that the region's largest monthly drop in home prices since the late stages of the housing bust. Woo! So here we go, guys. Fastest rising home rate. So, guys, I really want to read this. Guys, pay attention. Las Vegas, 13.9%. Las Vegas, I got an article. Las Vegas is on fire right now. Housing market's on fire. Bidding wars. Why? Because everyone left California because they couldn't afford to live in California and Washington State and Oregon. San Francisco is up 10.6%. Seattle, according to this, is up 9.6%. Denver up 7.7%. And Tampa up 7%. I know Colorado's on fire, but this is saying home prices fastest rise. Oh, okay. These are the fastest rising home prices. Okay, so this is of this year. So Las Vegas right now beats all of them for the fastest record. Seattle, okay, these are, I see what they're saying. San Francisco has a record as the fastest rising home. They're not rising right now. It's just telling you that these are the records of the fastest rising home prices, like record-wise. Okay, let's keep going here. Seattle's on fire here. San Francisco Bay Area home sales suffered their lowest September in 11 years. San Francisco homes plummet. Let's see if we got some audio on this damn thing. I was just listening to YouTube, so there's no reason why it should be. I shouldn't have audio. I don't know why this thing's taking a million years to load. I could be in Mexico by the time this thing loads. I could be in Acapulco.
California is often a broad indicator for the rest of the nation, and right now that is not such a good thing. Southern California sales of both new and existing homes plummeted nearly 18% in September year over year. That, according to CoreLogic, that was the slowest September pace since 2007, when the national housing and mortgage crisis was hitting, and it was the biggest annual drop for any month in almost 8 years, more than twice the annual drop seen in August. Part of that is likely that pop in mortgage rates. The 30-year fixed has been moving higher since the start of September, now a full percentage point higher than it was a year ago. Southern California home prices are still up, but only about 3% annually, and that's the smallest gain in more than 3 years. So like California, we also saw the annual home price gains nationally fall. That on the S&P Case-Shiller Index, they are now below 6%. Demand and sales are softening, so you can expect those big price gains we saw last year to continue to shrink as we head into the coming months. And on note, we just got the numbers in on the San Francisco Bay Area home sales. Even worse. Go to them. They're on CNBC.com right now.
So that was that there. Home prices in California are dropping like a rock. What kind of living situations do tech people consider? If you're coming to San Francisco to work tech, thinking about the city's housing crisis will daunt you. The area's reputation for having some of the highest rents in the world is well known. And if you're not familiar with San Francisco's distinctive neighborhoods, it can be tricky to narrow your search to locations that would suit you best. But in the last few years, a handful of entrepreneurs have come up with creative ways. So what they're doing is there's like 7-8 people living together, and different apps that people use to live with each other. But you're supposed to be a tech worker. You're supposed to be making $6-7 million a year. What's wrong? You know? Anyways, let's move on. San Diego home sales dropped to the lowest level in 11 years, so San Diego's getting hit too in California. San Diego County homes sales dropped 17.5% in the lowest in 11 years for September, in the first significant sign of a slowdown in the market. Real Estate Tracker CoreLogic reported on Tuesday. Last month, 2,942 homes sold in the county, down from 3,568 sales a year ago. It was the lowest number of sales for September since just before the Great Recession, when 2,152 sold in September 2007. Also, last month's median home price dropped $575,000. Wow. It dropped to $575,000. The first decrease in January after hitting the all-time high of $583,000. So it's dropping, guys. Most experts attribute the slowdown to the rise in mortgage interest rates and the sale of price reduction to potential buyers balking at higher monthly payments. So it is a mix of mortgage payments going up and mortgage payments are going up, so it's going to be a lot harder for people to cover their mortgage payments. So mysterious blue space entity in the house here, going to bed now. Good night. A lot of people here. Wow, we got 30 people watching late in the night. Wow. So this is yearly increases by city. Las Vegas 13.9%, San Francisco 10.6%, Seattle. Wow, this is a yearly increase. Wow, it's huge. Whew. Nationwide is still 5.8%. Should be around 5.8. It's because these idiotic places here, they keep pushing up the rest of the nationwide average. So you got like 5 or 6 cities that are actually tipping the whole country's benchmark nationwide average. So look at that, eh? Look at that drop. Boom. It might go back to 07. Oh, it's going to easy. Go look at that. Look at the graph right here. It's going to go back to 07 numbers in the next quarter or 2 quarters, the way San Diego is headed right now. Like I said, everyone's leaving. San Diego's got like 89,000 empty investment-owned properties. No one's living in them. And they're not being rented out. So people go east to places like Nevada and Salt Lake City. Housing prices continue to climb along the Wasatch Front, resulting in slowing home sales. Housing prices along the Wasatch Front continue to rise. This is Salt Lake City, guys. Through the late summer, and kept pace of home sales either flat or falling in many areas. Salt Lake County's median price for a single family home reached $355,000 in the third quarter of 2018, compared to $345,000 in January, February, March. The 5 counties surging in prices shows few signs of easing up. So what's been happening? Look at this. Look at these areas. How much they're up. Whew. Wow. Like areas like this were nothing before the mass exodus California. People need to remember 6 million people left California in the last 6 years. That's a lot of human beings relocating and buying up in markets in other places. So only 3,455 of 85 homes sold in Utah's most popular county, slightly behind sales levels for the same quarter in 2017 of 3,494 homes. Similar to a total of 8,002 homes changed hands across Salt Lake, Utah, Weber, Davis, and Tulare counties in July, August, September of this year. 307 fewer homes sold in the same period. So here it is, guys. Price increases. So what's happening is, look at the price increases in these places. Somebody like tipped me off and say, Mike, you better talk about Salt Lake City, Utah. And I'm like, what's going on there, man? The housing prices are going through the roof. The average median house was $185 to $240 for a decent 3-bedroom, 2-bath with a big backyard. Now they're going for $400,000 or $500,000. I'm like, what? In a matter of 2 years. Look at this. Workers face housing crisis in Reno, Nevada, the biggest littlest city in the world. In recent years, the city of Reno, Nevada has fallen victim to the housing crisis faced by many other cities. Rent costs have increased to a point of being unattainable for much of the working class, and available homes are quickly occupied, making it extremely difficult to find housing for those who are currently on the market. Rents have been going up rapidly in many cities. Reno ended up 2017 with the fourth highest rent increase in the country. It is now common to hear instances of working class people forced out of their homes due to seemingly overnight exponential rent increases that are impossible to adjust to, especially under short notice. Sudden dramatic rent increases are an act of violence against the working people. That's very true. Sudden dramatic rent increases are an act of violence against the working people. Landlords benefit from forcing out low-income residents, thus clearing space for more profitable, high-paying tenants. This process is happening on steroids in downtown Reno, where many of the city's impoverished people have taken permanent residence in motels. Jacob Entertainment, a gaming company based in Colorado, has recently begun buying up property in Reno with the intent to demolish motels and replace them with more casinos and a proposed Fountain District. Oh, Fountain District's like Sopa Sopa. Remember South Park Sopa Sopa? They created a district, and they tore down Kenny's house and they built a Sopa Sopa area, turning the area into a playground for the rich. When asked, the Reno Gazette, okay, let's keep going. Because of capitalist unstable greed, working class families are violently uprooted from their homes to clear a space for people with thicker wallets. The blame does not fall on out-of-state workers, but on local landlords and property managers. This tragedy is a natural occurrence under the capitalist system in which housing is a commodity instead of a human right. The only way to guarantee workers access to the housing for all is to replace the overpressed, exploitive capitalist system with socialism. So that's that. That's what they say. Let me take a break. Let's head up to the comments section. So comments are going nice and smooth here. Thanks for joining me, guys. Got lots more. Lots happening, man. You guys have no idea how this housing crisis, so many lives are being ruined. And it started in the bigger cities because the bigger cities, people were just getting bought out. People couldn't afford it. And the people that wanted to play the game, I got a thick wallet. I'm a doctor. I'm a lawyer. I'm a judge. Yeah. They're in and over their heads. Remember that doctor video I did? That guy's making a dollar an hour, 80 cents an hour after all his expenses are covered. So what are you working for? Expenses. What do you put away? I make 90 cents an hour. You got nothing left. $850 per week for an apartment in such a bad condition. I took the landlord to court and won. Severe mold problem. That's by SL-SISM. Socialism, I guess, in the comments there. Anon says, why did you take him to court? To break your lease? Okay, there's a conversation going on in the comments section. Let's move on. Latest data shows median price for family home in Utah, $355,000. Oh my God, that's a lot of money, man. In Utah, $355,000, guys, in Salt Lake City. The average was like $180,000, less than, again, it's the people migrating from California, Oregon, and Washington State, moving east into the country.
It's a trend we've been seeing over the past 2 years, rising home prices corresponding with slowing sales.
Prices continue to climb dramatically.
According to the latest data from the Salt Lake Board of Realtors, the median price for a single-family home in Salt Lake County reached $355,000 in July, August, and September of 2018, compared to $345,000 for January, February, and March.
Sales, as a result, are kind of slowing down In fact, negative sales year over year in a couple of counties.
In July, August, and September of this year, home sales in Salt Lake County fell by 0.3%, after dropping 4.6% in January, February, and March. Sales were down 11.8% in Davis County, down 1.4% in Utah County, and sales were flat in Tooele County. Only Weber County saw an increase of 9.6%. And even though there are a lot of new homes being built, many aren't affordable due to a labor shortage caused by several big municipal projects, most notably the Salt Lake City International Airport.
The valley's kind of filling in, so there's a lack of available land. And then if you add to that the tariffs situation, that is driving up the cost of steel and aluminum and lumber and other things that you use for home construction.
A recent survey by the nonprofit Utah Foundation found that 12% of Utahns say their housing costs were not affordable. In Salt Lake County, that number went as high as 20%.
This is a very real threat to the state's healthy economy.
To address the housing shortage, the Salt Lake Chamber has launched a major statewide campaign called the Housing Gap Coalition. To read more about home prices and to see where your zip code stacks up, read Tony Simrad's article in today's Salt Lake Tribune. We'll link you up on our website, fox13now.com.
So guys, so see how they're having problems with 345,000, 355,000? Because these guys are on reality check here. Cities like Vancouver, Toronto, Sydney, Melbourne, Auckland. Oh, $1 million bucks! 1.5 million bucks! This is for a 3-4 bedroom house, 2 bath. 355, and they're feeling it. And then, oh, $1 million, $2 million bucks! Oh, okay, yeah, I'll buy that. Like, are people out of their tree? They're feeling it at 355. Portland, Oregon is finished right now. They're at 401,000 and everyone's leaving. Sydney, you can't even buy a 1-bedroom for 355. Yeah, you have to spend in and around 7, 8, 900,000 for a decent 1-bedroom, and that's without parking. So, let's move on. Las Vegas house prices reached the highest level in 11 years. So, you see where the pattern's going? How it's moving from the coast, where nothing's selling, and houses are just sitting on the markets, to, so you, oh, I got equity in my home. Okay, sell it. Go ahead, Ivan. Sell your house. Guys, Walking Journey in the house. Walking Journey just reached 5,000 subscribers on his channel. He's in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to his channel. Walking Journey, my 2-time world champion in the house. Las Vegas houses. Oh my God, please. Las Vegas houses prices reached the highest level in 11 years. So pricing is just going up. Median sale price previously single family home was $3,000. And then I have to subscribe for the article here. I'm just trying to see if I could cut it out. In September, 1.7% from August. Oh, there's music. Yeah. So anything under 300,000 is selling fast right now in Las Vegas. Las Vegas home prices have been rising fastest rates in the country. Recent data shows that the market is now less affordable than the national average. So that's very true, guys. Because like I said, everybody left California and they're manipulating the prices. But a lot of foreign money was parked in California. So the amount of empty homes in California is just phenomenal. Owned by foreign investors. Perfectly good homes that families could live in. Mortgage fraud is getting worse as more people lie about their income to qualify for loans. I mean, does anybody look at a pay stub? Does anybody look at a pay stub and confirm work? I mean, is anybody paying attention to what's going on? I mean, look at their T4. Look at their 3 years T4. Get three weeks of pay, 4 weeks of pay stubs. Call the employer to confirm employment. I mean, it's very simple. It's not that hard. It's not illegal. Mortgage fraud risk jumped more than 12% year over year at the end of the second quarter, according to CoreLogic. 1 in every 109 mortgage applications is estimated to have identifications as fraud. Loan applications for real estate purchases are more likely to have fraud than for refinancing, and that may be a part of the reason for the increase in overall fraud risk. I think that lenders need to start really looking at their problems instead of blaming it on the customer. West Australian. Okay, guys, we're going to kick off Australia here in a sec. I got some Australia articles here before we kick off. Whew. Oh, what a busy night. I've been really busy with Halloween, guys. Halloween night. I forgot it was Halloween, so I had to start my show late tonight. Walking journey is $750,000 in Huntington Park, California, 2 blocks away from South Central Los Angeles. And then Anon in the comment section saying, in Melbourne, I saw a shoebox listed in the CBD for $270 large last night. Oh, living the dream saying, nice outfit. I know, you like it, eh? I was a pirate today. I got my patch, but I'm not going to wear my patch because I can barely see it with one eye. So, Australian property market slumps to 6-year low as Perth house values fall further. Oof. Today's date, the Western Australia. Let's see what's going on here.
A property developer has claimed $1 million home for virtually nothing after a triumphant win in a squatters' rights case. Bill Gertos walked into the empty Sydney home and then used it to make money, renting it out for 2 decades. He's now been declared its rightful owner.
Well, this house has been the talk of the neighbourhood for quite some time. It's had a revolving door of tenants since the late 1990s, and there have been questions about who actually owns it until Sydney property developer and accountant Bill Gertos entered the scene. Now, he claims he stumbled across the empty house 20 years ago, changed the locks, renovated it and has been renting it out. Now, under old squatters laws, he's actually managed to gain the possessory rights to this property, but he had to prove the neighbours consider him to be the owner. But most of the neighbours we've spoken to today say they've never laid eyes on him.
No one knows him. If you knock on all the doors in this street, nobody knows who he is.
I've never seen them. I've seen a couple of tenants, like a Maori tenants lived in there for a while. That's about it.
The family of a deceased man who actually bought the property back in 1927 served an injunction in the Supreme Court. But yesterday the court threw it out, calling Gertos the title owner and ordered the family to pay costs. I've spoken with the family today. They cannot believe that this has happened. We've not been able to track Bill Gertos, the new owner, down just yet, but we suspect he will be trying to put this property on the market pretty soon. It's got an estimated value of $1.7 million.
Guys, that's $1.7 million. That. Holy crap. Is that 1.7 million Venezuelan pesos? That's a lot of money. Wow. So that's what's happening there. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Holy smokes. $1.7 million for that house. I don't get it. I don't care where it is either. I don't care where it is. $1.7 million. It's Bolivares. Bolivares, the Venezuelan peso. $1.7 million. All right, we got to get a little bit of delusional Mike in here. 1.7 million. Sorry, guys, we got to pull a little delusional Mike tonight. $1.7 million. Are they out of their minds? Look at this house here. $7 million. Are they out of their tree? Look at that nice house in Florida. This is in a very nice area though. This is like a very good area to be a part, like to be in. I just want to see if it has a pool. Oh, that's a nice little office. Oh, it's got this little climb up space in the back here. Look at that. You climb up there and walk around that little ledge there and do stuff. There's the backyard. No pool though. But it's nice. It's got a nice gazebo in the back. Oh, it's got nice parking too. Nice parking. But yeah. $1.7 million for that. I don't even think you could buy a home for that much in that area here. I don't even think you could buy a house for that much money. It's so much money. Let's go to Coral Shores area, like more expensive area. Everything's $220, $240. There's nothing. I can't find anything that's beautiful with the pool and everything. That is $175,000. Like, I'm just. Let me put this up to. So what did they say? $1.7 million. All right, let's see what you can get for that. Yeah, it's like 50 acres, 40 acres. I'm just trying to see if there's... Okay, here we go. Okay, this is in a really prestige part of Florida. Look, see right there? $530,000. I found something for $530,000. Found something for $530,000, but I can't... That much money. That's so much money. Oh, here's one for $899,000. Yeah, but this house is enormous, and the back is huge. See if it's got a lot of land. Oh yeah, it's got a pool. It's got a pool. Yeah, that's so much money. Unless we go down to like where Julio Iglesias lives on Star Island down here. Here, like Bal Harbor. Yeah, let's go to Bal Harbor. Like you go into this area, you might find something for 1.7. They're not even close. It's not even close. You can't find anything for that price for what they're asking for that house. I don't even know where to look for that much money. Here's a nice one. Seven bedrooms, 4 baths, 2,583 square feet, $539,000. There's not much photos of it, but it looks like a nice house. It's got a rooftop patio. Here's another one, $659,000, 6 bedrooms, 4 baths. It's a big house. It's a huge house. Huge, but I can't find like houses that expensive. Like in some states it's really hard to find houses that expensive. I can't find anything. I'm putting at the maximum money. Like the most expensive I'm seeing is like this one, $690,000, but it's a huge house. It's 6 beds, 4 baths, right? Look at the parking. Look how big that house is. It even has a wraparound drop-off, so you drop people off and go into the house. I don't understand. Like, it's phenomenal. Like, the price, $1.7 million for that. I must be on crack or something, because I don't see why that's worth $1.7 million. Someone's saying, geez, Florida's cheap. No, that's what the average house should be worth. The average house should not be worth, like, the average house, like, this is not even an average house. This is a teardown. This thing was built in 1910, the lady said. This is not even an average house. It's a teardown. Let me see if I could find something. Let me go up. Let me zoom it out here. See if I could find something in more of a better area here, like a different area. Something more. Here we go. There's 700,000. The thing's a mansion now. 700,000, 6 beds, 5 baths, 5,000 square feet for 700,000. There it is there. But like 1.7 million. I don't know. Like I said, even if someone said, "Oh, Mike, I'm going to give you a budget of $1.7 million to buy a house in the state of Florida," I'm like, do you want to buy 3 houses for that? Look at that, people. Look at the back. Oh, it's got horses too? Holy, it's got a stable! It even has a stable! Someone commented helicopter pad. You could put one there. You bet you bet your butt you can. Look at that back balcony. Look at all the land. How much land is this thing? Well, it even has a swamp and a treehouse. Look, there's a treehouse. There's a ladder going up to the treehouse. Holy smokes, look how much land this thing. And a thing for the horses, too. Look at the horsies. Private drive to your house. Okay, how much land is this thing on? $20 acres, 16.39 acres. So you get 16.39 acres for $699. Mortgage is $2,893 per month. That's if you put 0 down. And you get this. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And that's one of a million that I could show you guys. And here's the effed up part of it. This is $1.7 million. This is $1.7 million. This is what I've been talking about for the last 5 friggin' years. I lived in Florida for 5 years. I know what Florida. I lived in Florida. I've seen, when I was there, there's like, oh, gangs, violence, drug. I saw nothing. I was there for 5 years. I saw nothing. Nothing. Hand to God, I saw nothing. I started seeing more and more violence and stuff when I moved to Vancouver. I started seeing people punching people out and stuff. I'm like, what the hell? Someone says, did Trump ban the Chinese? No, but the capital outflows in China are restricted. No more they could only take out like $5,000 now US. 1.7 million. Guys, I'm hung on this. I got a hold on this. I don't know why I got a hold on this thing. Jesus. Alright, fine. Flash in the pan? Okay, flash in the pan. Here, I found another one here, right by the beach, too. $789. Still $1 million cheaper than the one in Australia. This is a good area too. This area, oh, look at the shower, man. You could dance in there. Oh, a sinking tub. And you're probably saying, oh, Mike, I could see a house through the window, through the bathroom. I'll show you why. You see a house, another house. Holy crap. Look at that patio. You see the house? It comes with a garage built, like a second house built into the house. That's why when you look out the window, you see a roof of another house. It's not another house, it's your house. Look at that. Ooh, look at that round atrium window on 2 stories there. Yeah, the showers are nice. Someone's... Look at that. So it's in a gated community on top of that. So this is part of your house. You just go to here. It's a gated community. So you buy and you pay your strata fee. This is what you're paying for strata fees for. This is worth it. Instead of paying strata fees for what? It's in a gated community. How much is the monthly gated community? 190 bucks a month. 190 bucks a month. And you get 3 parking spaces in your house. House is almost 5,000 square feet. 6 bedrooms. $190 a month is not a lot of money for strata. And then you have a basketball court you could take your kids to play. You have tennis courts. What else does it have? It's got like these beautiful, these lazy pools where you just lay there and the water takes you around type of thing. Yeah, it's only 3 feet deep, so you just kind of float in there. Place for the kids to play. Look at that. I don't know, guys. I'm just putting this out there. I really have a... Yeah, I really have a hold on this. Like, $1.7 million for that thing. This thing, you gotta turn the crap down. It's garbage. And look what you get for what, $600,000, $700,000, $798. And I'm pretty sure you could show up there and say, man, I know you want $790. I got $740, man. Come on. I'm pretty sure you show up with $740 and that's all you got. They'll probably give it to you still. Anyways, let's move on. We'd be looking at houses for I can't find like this one for the 1.7 mil. Let's find a house to match. Hold on. Let's find a one so I could go to bed nice tonight. Let's find it doesn't even go to $1 million. Okay, so let's see if we could find. Okay, here we go. Almost $1 million bucks. Almost $1 million. Almost $1 million. So again, let's go back to, I'm picking on Australia tonight. 1.7 million for that teardown. Let's go to this one. This one is $899. Mortgage payment $3,743 a month. And it's on almost 2 acres. And there's no strata because it's a freehold. 8 bedrooms, 9 baths. 8,627 square feet. So let's look at this one. So this was in Georgia, so you don't have a lot of heat to pay, no heating bills. Air conditioning is not necessary because Georgia's got this really perfect temperature all year round. There's the side. Oh, look at the marble flooring. And the hardwood mahogany stairs. Oh, look at those vaulted ceilings. Oh my goodness. My goodness. Look at that. Look at the light coming in. Look at that. Look at that marble counter going around there. It's got 3 faucets, 1, 2, and 3 back here. Wow. Oh, that's phenomenal. That's the other living room. That's the other living room. That's the 5th fireplace. Wow. Look at that. The theater room, holy. That's amazing, people. It's got a theater room. I don't know what the hell that is, but that's enormous. That's like a man cave, I guess, because it looks like it's downstairs. I don't know what that is. That must be just like a room. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this balcony. Look at this backyard. Look at that. Like, just to prove to you guys I'm not lying or anything, there's palm trees there. Like, the weather is very good. Like, wintertime, it gets to, the coldest it gets like 15 Celsius, 18 Celsius. Yeah, so that's that. So you don't have to really, heating is not too much of an issue. So $3,743 a month. There's no stratas, there's nothing, and it's almost on 2 acres. It does have central cooling, though, if you do need it. And the house is less than 10 years old. And there it is there. It's got balconies on all the bedrooms pretty much. 8 bedrooms, 9 baths. It's a phenomenal house, see? But that's still $899. This is $1.7 million for a tear down. So someone's saying the wedding reception room. Oh yeah, you could have a chapel in that house, so you could go pray every day if you want. Put some stained glass windows. So like, I mean, I can't find anything for like 1.7 for that kind of money. Maybe if we go to... I can't find anything for that much. Like, that's a lot of money. Because people, like, I guess what happened is people are so used to seeing the prices for $1 million. You know what I'm saying? People are so used to in Australia saying, oh yeah, $1 million house. Yeah, that's normal. And I think people are so used to it that it's become the norm in Australia and Vancouver. And look at this one. I don't even know where this is. Let this thing open. Come on. Okay, $549. $2,200 a month. 6 bedrooms, 6 bath, 5,400 square feet. Oh, that's the map. It's in a cul-de-sac, that's for starters. Look at that. Woo! Library. Henry VIII painting on the wall. Look at that backyard. I like the library, man. Wow. It's got like this marble slab flooring through the whole house. Wow, look at that wallpaper. Wow. So someone's saying, what can you get for $2 million in this area? I can't find anything for $2 million, though. Like, I can't, I really cannot. I have it at... Okay, let's get rid of, so let's just put houses only. Okay, and then let's go to lots. So I have it at 6 bedrooms plus. And then I have it at the highest, 950 plus. So, 950 plus. So I have it at 950 plus, 950,000. So I can't find nothing for 1.7 million. It's because it's a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? No one's going to buy a house for that much. Oh, that's in Mexico. Let me go up. There's so many beautiful homes. Like, look at this one with the old Mexican style. Look at this. Look at that. Look at the backyard. Look at the roof. You could party on the roof. Look at that basketball court. I like that Mexican style. Look at that. Sierra Madre. Look, solar panels on the roof. What? This place is pimped. Nice little gateway entry. Someone's saying, that's effed. 12K strata rates per year. My 3-bedroom detached house on a 660 M 2-block council. Water sewage rates. Home contents insurance, 5K per year total. Wow, that's gotta hurt, buddy. Look at that detached home. No stratas. Your own home, your own... Look at that, $695. 6 beds, 4 baths. Again, I'm just having a really tough time finding something for $1.7 million. Let's move on, because I could be on this all night. Australia's house prices dropped 3.5%, heading for the deepest downturn in modern history. Australian housing prices have continued to slide, with the market facing its sharpest annual decline in 6.5 years. Prices have fallen 3.5% over the last year on a national basis to an average 538,000. The latest figures from property analyst CoreLogic revealed. So we read this in the last article, but I brought this up because it's got your Sydney, there's your quarter, and there's your annual drop, and there's your total return. So a lot of people are underwater right now. So people that, ooh, I'm going to buy that house that I showed you for $1.7 million. That's a good deal. Right now we're sitting on the water because that house is worth 300 grand. On a really good day. Like, I mean, the sun's shining, the sky's blue, the weather's perfect, you woke up on the right side of the bed, you have the money to buy it free and clear, so you're mortgage free. On a really good day, that house is worth 300 large, the one we saw there. And that's being very generous, because that house should be realistically that kind of house in Florida. That house that we saw, that the guy in the video earlier in the show, you could buy that same house in Florida for like 60 grand. That same house, with more land and a pool probably, for 60 grand. Let's move along. Australian face $700 billion wealth wipeout as debt levels racked riskiest in the world, says Morgan Stanley. Australian households are facing a collective $700 billion cut to their wealth from the need to wind back the massive amounts of debt build up during the property boom. In several global economies, the giant U.S. investment bank Morgan Stanley found Australia's economy carried the greatest risk from cutting back on household debt. Australia looks most expensive, combining high household and external leverage, weak domestic housing conditions, and potential further macroprudential and structural tax policy adjustments ahead, says Morgan Stanley. We got working on it on the comments. How are you? Daniel O'Brien in the comments. How are you? Peter Ortzinger in the comments. How are you? Socialism in the comments. How are you? Want to thank, I'm lost, everybody in the comments section. Hope everyone's doing okay tonight. Happy Halloween to everybody, guys. So I started pretty late tonight because, like I said, there's just so much happening right now in the English-speaking world with the housing crisis. And a lot of people are waking up and they're looking at what they could buy in the United States for $600,000. It's like everyone takes a whole huge step back and say, what? Australia looks most exposed, combining high household debt, external leverage. I read that. Most concerning about the potential impact of the leveraging phase for Australia households is the narrowing savings buffer that is currently carried. Morgan Stanley. So people's equity is pretty much wiped. A lot of people lost their equity, and the people that tapped into their equity and used their house as an ATM machine is underwater. A majority of them are. And they're going to be paying more because if Australia doesn't raise rates real soon, you're going to see a lot of problems in the next quarter. I could bet you anything you want. Let's move on. Simple mortgage terms Australians don't know. So let's play this. Hopefully it doesn't have a bunch of music. It looks like it has Dirty Dancing music. Oh, we played this thing already. Aussie creditors are dirty dancing with banks. There's only one way to sum up your housing market. It will get worse before it gets better. Capital city prices have fallen year on year. And while it might seem like a good time to buy, experts fear a crash with dire consequences. We've got a debt bomb. We've got, there's Martin North there. At some point, tighter lending and higher interest rates could shift the downturn in potential disaster. And there is $1.7 trillion held by the banks in mortgages for co-owners, occupiers, and investors. That's higher than any other country. In Western world, by a long way. So what's next? Sellers need to set more realistic values on current market value. That's what I'm talking about! Buyers, take your time. There's a lot to choose from. Not much competition. Guys, pay attention. And that's what I've been moaning and being, I'm not going to say the B word, about for the longest time. It's super overvalued. It's like, okay, like that whole Sydney housing market and all these expensive and blah, blah, blah. Let me pull up a price comparison here. So you guys see how I see this, okay? I'm gonna give you a little price comparison in cars, so you get what I'm getting at here with the housing. Okay. This is a 1982 Volkswagen Scirocco. Today, it's probably worth $400 if you find a good running one. Okay? Here is a 1998 Lamborghini Countach. Okay. It's still loading the image. Holy crap. Here's a 1998 Lamborghini Countach. This is how I see the whole the housing crisis, okay? That is worth 70, let's say 70 grand, okay? Okay, I'm not going to argue that that's worth $70,000. But they're making people pay $70,000 for that. They're saying that's worth $70,000. People are paying Lamborghini price for a 1982 Volkswagen Scirocco. Why would anyone pay $70,000 for that car? Do you guys get what I'm saying? And when I talk about, oh, Mike, you don't know nothing. You know, in Vancouver, the average house should be worth about $2 million. I'm like, nobody could buy it. Why would you pay $70,000 for that when you could pay $70,000 and get that? That's what I'm trying to get at here. You know? Prices, okay, with the interest rates going up, the average price of a house, affordability-wise, for a median average income of a family at, let's say, $87,000 a year, okay, needs to be $330,000 to $390,000 for a house. 5 years ago, when I was telling people, wow, that house is $700,000, and it was climbing in Vancouver 7 years ago, but that house is only worth $300 grand, and people look at me, you're crazy, but I mean, but that's only what the average person could afford to pay. Oh, you're crazy, man. Interest rates are low. And then that's when I started connecting the dots. So the comments are going on. So who in their right mind would okay, I would buy this car for $70,000. I would buy this car for $70,000. Like, if it's in good condition, everything's up to spec, everything's up to date. There's no problems with transmission problems, no noises in the motor. Everything seems pretty, I would pay $70,000 for that. Okay, no problem. But I'm not paying $70,000 for that. And that's what people are doing. They're paying $70,000 for that. And that's what's pissing me off. Commonwealth Bank sells Colonial First State Global Assets Management for $4.1 billion. Here we go. Here we go, people. Okay, people in the comment section, oh, we're looking at 20-30% decline, blah, blah, blah. Okay, guys, all it takes is for prices to go down another 8% from what they've gone down already. 27% of people will be completely underwater. 27 points of the entire English-speaking world would be underwater. That's Australia, New Zealand, Canada, United States of America, and the UK. 8% drop. 8 is the magic number. 8. Right across the board. You're going to start to see huge people underwater and people owing more than what their house is valued at. And the Australian dollars are going to drop like a rock because they're not raising interest rates. The Commonwealth Bank has announced a multi-billion-dollar shakeup of its wealth management and mortgage broker business, selling one and splitting off the others. Yeah, they're taking the bad debt, just like the other guys and Lehman and all those guys over at, you know what I'm saying? So Oliver St. John saying New Zealand cost of living is off the scale, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, people, everyone's tapped out. No one has money. Okay? Nobody has money. Nobody has disposable income. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, CBA, Colonial First State Global Asset Management, to Japanese giant Mitsubishi UFJ Trust Banking Corporation for $4.13 billion, known as First State Investment outside of Australia. The company currently manages about $213 billion worth of assets on behalf of the financial institution, pension funds, and financial advertisers and their clients, and has offices in Europe and the United States of America and Asia Pacific. CBA has announced in June its intention to demerge its wealth and management. No, bad debt is what it is, and mortgage broking business, and after announcements was approached by the MUTB by buying an international arm. I think what they're doing in moving that broker area is because there's so much bad debts or bad mortgages that were thrown on the books. They kind of want to clean it on the rug and sell it to somebody else. The transaction is due to be completed in the middle of next year, subject to various regulatory approvals in a number of countries, including Australia, Japan, Hong Kong, Singapore, the UK, and the United States of America. It goes ahead of the CBA said it will net nearly $1.5 billion from the transaction after tax. Today's announcement represents another important milestone in the CBA strategy to focus on its core banking businesses and create a simpler, better bank. The bank's chief executive, Matt Commian, said in a statement, the sale of CFS and MUTB represents a significant value for CBA shareholders and its positive outcomes to its clients and employees. It's always about pleasing the shareholders, making the investors not panic, and it's wealth mortgage brokering, demergering. I've heard of this before back in the day, and it's a lot of stuff getting swept under the rug and kind of like cleaning off their books is what they're trying to do. Sydney property developer awarded home under squatting laws after renting out for 20 years. Guys, this is the $1.6 or $1.7 million house. Guys, this is $1.7 million in Sydney. So let's go back to Delusional Mike. Go back to Zillow, man. We gotta see. We gotta find something. Let's buy. Okay, let's find something for that much money. Let's see what we can find for that much money. Let's see what we can find for that much money. You don't find much for that much money. Here, I found one for $880. Man, I can't find anything for that much money. I found this one for $779. 779, 6,341 square feet, 7 bedrooms, 6 baths. I mean, I found this one. I like these marble flooring they have. I can't find anything for like 1 point that's a lot of money though. Like when you go to these kind of cities, they don't, you know, you don't blow that much money on a house, right? I just want to see if it has a pool. Yeah, it does. It's got a big pool too. Hold on. There it is. Oh, look at that. Oh, and it's got a hot tub with these rocks around it. You can sit in the hot tub and then just jump in the pool if you like. Oh, it's got a lot of land too. Oh, wow. Nice neighborhood, too. Yeah, 6,341 square foot house for $779. Or, you could buy this for $1.7 million. I don't care, man. Go back to this. That house is this car. Okay? This house is that car. So, bang for your buck. If you don't spend the $1.7 million, you lose what you don't spend, Mike. So, start making your own bread. And then someone's saying, I'm making my own stuff. And I can't even find a property for that much. Like, I'm really having a tough time finding anything. Okay, here, I found one for $749. This one's $749. Oh, look at that. Oh, is that an aquarium? That's awesome. That bathroom, holy crap. Pool room, pool table. Oh, look at the shoes. Look at that backyard, holy crap. Cabana chairs. Look at that. $749. $3,000 a month. No strata fees. 4 parking spaces. You're paying $156 per square foot. Six bedrooms, 5 baths. I can't find a house to match this beautiful 1.67. It says 7. The other one says $6 million house. I can't find anything that expensive. Let's move to Vero Beach, maybe? Okay, here, I found one, $935. It's almost $1 million bucks. There it is there. See, this is $1 million house, people. You see what I'm trying to say? This is not a $70,000 car, but people are still buying that stupid car for $70,000. This is a $70,000 car. So I'm not sure. So this is $1 million. When I say $1 million house, okay, this is $1 million house. Let's take a look at what $1 million house is. Let's look at what $1 million house is. That's $1 million house. Someone's saying, is the size of the house important? No, guys. I'm not talking about the size of the house. I'm talking about bang for your dollar. Value for your dollar. Okay? I'm sorry. This 800 square foot house is not worth $1.7 million in Sydney. I don't care. That is $1 million house. Yes, that's $1 million house. And that's what I'm trying to get to. That's what I'm trying to tell you people. Bang for your buck. People are closed in these cities thinking that everywhere is expensive. It's not. This is worth $1 million bucks. Right here. Let's take a nice look at this. Look at that. That's where you get dropped off in the front of your house and you go into your doors. There's your front door. There's your one of your kitchens, I guess. Look at that brass sink with a brass faucet. Real backsplash made of real stone. Yeah, UK struggling, guys. I'm reading the comment section. UK is out of control. I've been following the UK for years. And Ireland. Look at this. You could have a, like the other guy in the comments said, a wedding reception hall. Look at the 3-car garage. You could have a hockey game in there. Look at that. It's got a back door just in case the police are coming. See, that's $1 million house, my friends. That's $1 million house right there. $1 million, $935,000. Okay, would be probably 1.1 million US Australian dollars. It's on 3 acres of land, $176 per square foot. That's $1 million house. This is not $1.7 million. I don't care what you want to call me. I don't care what you want to say. That is not $1.7 million house. This is a $1.7 million house right here. That's a $1.7 million house. That's all one house, by the way. It's not a townhome complex. Rental prices have gone up 150, 200% since I left 4 years ago. Yeah. Mike, what should I do with 100K cash? Nothing. There's nothing you could do right now. You can't get into the property market. The stock market's volatile unless you know what you're doing. Buying silver and gold is kind of shifty because if rates go up, gold might go up. 100K cash, I don't know. That's a good question. See, for me, it's different. I just buy stuff from my company. I can't sell it in the store. I sell it online for a bit of profit. You know, it's a little bit different for me. I would know where to put 100. If someone offered me 100K cash, I would know where to put it, right? And that's the mistake when people win the lottery. You know what I'm saying? They lose it because they're not sure what to do with their money, right? Yeah. No, do you get a lake too? No, this is part of the property, this water, because there's a, like, I think that what the guy did on the acreage is he set up it's 3 acres. I think he set up a small golf course on this thing, because it says golfing a six hole course on the property. So if you like to play golf, it's not that bad. It's right by the ocean too. So, I'm sorry, guys. $1.7 million for that house. And you know what hurts inside? Is when a young family buys that thinking that's a great starter home. Even if the guy's a surgeon and the wife is an astronaut, or the wife's a surgeon and the husband's an astronaut, you still couldn't make, you can't get by. You still can't make enough. And the dollar's collapsing in Australia because they're not raising rates. 100K salary is a lot. Nope. We went over this. I think Anonymous is new to the channel. We did a lot of TDS calculations for properties on what people need to make to afford a $300,000 property nowadays with the rate hikes and the stress testing now. It's phenomenal. To buy a $300,000 property, you have to go through hoops. Homeless Kelowna in the house. 150 large income required for a non-meth lab house. Yeah, he's right. He is right. Homeless Kelowna, 600K most likely for an ex-grow-up house. He 100% right. 600 large buys you a house in Kelowna, BC. And you want to see what you can buy for 600 large stateside? Well, you guys know I'm going to bring up mansions here for that much. Look at this for 600 large. Look at that. I think Anon would like this house for himself. Something he could work from home. Anon's in the comments, hopefully. I think he didn't leave yet. But yeah, I think Anon would like this house. This would be a perfect house for Anon. I think it's 6 bedrooms. Yeah, nice backyard. And I could picture... I could picture Anon standing back there and fixing me a drink. You know what I'm saying? There's the pool with the waterfall in it. You are kind of close to your neighbors, but you are on an intercoastal, so you could park your boat and go out to the ocean if you want. So you can park your boat at your house, which is not a bad thing. Oh, it's crazy, guys. Oh, this is a little cute house. A little historical looking house. I like these kind of with the hurricane shutters in the windows. I like that. That's a nice look for a house. Oh, I like the back too. That's not a lot of money though. $575. I still like this one for $899. That's freaking amazing. What? Look at that. But people prefer to pay one. Like, you bought that house for $899. You still say $1 million. You still save $600,000. You can invest that $600,000, open a company, or do something with the $600,000. Then buy that. That's a teardown. I'm not making fun of the house or anything. I just... Australians have the world's riskiest household debt. We went over this. Martin North did an article about that. Auckland's housing market favoring buyers. Guys, please hold back. They're banning foreign ownership. Do not buy anything if you're in Australia, if you're on New Zealand, if you're in Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch. Relax. Relax. Don't buy anything. Housing prices rise 5.4% despite sluggish spring start in Auckland. Guys, this is organized real estate. Back in this. Relax. Buyer's market as New Zealand flood with new homes for sale. Guys, relax. Okay? They're putting these articles out there. Look. Be careful. Okay? Everything's going down. Relax. It's not a buyer's market yet because affordability is still not there. Anon just left me a link. Oh, it's a domain article. Let's see what he's got here. $549,000 for a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, 1 parking. Pacific Hornsby, New South Wales. For what? For the whole building? For this whole building? That's 1 unit. But that's a unit in that? Was Elizabeth Taylor, like, is she in there or something? What? The hell's the strata on this thing? Almost 238. Okay, 238 plus water. Holy Christ. Holy smokes. $549. Let's go back and see what we get for $549. This 1.7 is a lost cause. This $1.7 million teardown. So let's go back here. All right, let's go to $549. So let's go to $549. So let's put it at 500. So we're within Australian dollars, okay? Okay, here's what you could buy. You could buy that 1-bedroom, or you could buy this house for $409. So You could buy that 1 bedroom, 1 bath, or you could buy this. Anon, are you in the comments there? Can you tell me if you want to buy this house? It's got 6 bedrooms, 5 baths, and it's got a full gym in it. Oh, look at that backyard. Wow. Look at that. 409. It's about 500,000. No. 470,000 Australian dollars. It's on an acre of land. No strata fees. Single freehold. Property taxes are $190 a month. It's not. I think that's a nice house. I think it's a good house for a family. He's paying, Anon's paying $1,800 in rent. How much would this cost per month? Oops, that's the wrong house. Which one did we just see? Yeah, this one here. This is $1,703 per month. That's with 0 down for this big house we saw. So then that would be $1,910 Australian dollars for this house. So there's a lot of people from Australia moving to the United States of America. A lot. I've been speaking to people from Colorado, been speaking to people from Utah. I've been speaking to people from... I'm going to call my friends down in Florida tomorrow. I'm going to ask them if they have a lot of Aussies moving there. Look at this, 484. Look at the back. I love those windows. Look at that. I love those windows, man. There's the front. Oh, look at that. Drop ceiling. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh. The freaking shower has beautiful draped curtains on it. Look at that closet. Dude, you could have a party. That's a closet, dude. You could have a party in that closet. I'm not exaggerating. You could just invite people over, put cushions on the floor, and have a party in the closet. Anon, would you buy this house instead of where you're living? It's the same price. Anon, you're paying the same where you're living. Would you rather have this instead and work from home? Holy crap, look at that pool cover. That's a pool cover. Man, it's got tennis courts too? Anon says for sure. This one they're throwing in three free horses, 8 bedrooms, 5 bath, 6,500 square feet. Let's look at the house. They're giving you a bunch of horses too on top. See, something like this, I would like. I wish there was more photos, because I would love to have a few horses just to take care of, just to keep me, you know. Ole Miss. So for the price of that 1 bedroom, there's a lot you could get in different parts. Oklahoma. That's a nice house. It's a nice little house there. It's not little. It's enormous. 1,974 per month, 3,400 square feet. It's a big house. I just want to see the pool. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh man, with the waterfall in and everything. I don't know, guys. I don't know what's, you know. And then you go to cities like Vancouver, right? You go to Vancouver. Okay, oops. Okay, you go to Vancouver. Okay. So you go like the same, like they had like a bunch of, lots of baths, and like they have in the Okay, so we go to Vancouver. Okay, here we go. There you go. Oh, term of use. Yeah, you know what? I don't care. Whatever. There you go. $1.2 million. Oh, it's got a nice backyard. That's $1.2 million. I just don't know how this is $1.2 million. It just doesn't make any sense. Why is it doing this? It's making me now sign in, but that's what you get for $1.2 million. So let's move on here. Inside Housing, large London Housing Association downgraded over market sale exposure. So London's completely bought out. A lot of people are moving to Middle England and to parts of Scotland, Edinburgh and stuff. UK housing starts to hit an 11-year high, boosted by London jump. So British builders are planning to construct the biggest numbers of homes in 11 years, boosted by a bounce back in London, and industry body said on Thursday. Builders registered 43,573 new homes for construction between July and September 15th. Around the same period of 2017, suggested the same quarter of 2007, the National House Build Council said. Nuts. So they're adding more inventory. Record number of people sleeping rough in London. It's incredible. And I could bet you 100 to 1 odds that that house right there is vacant. No one lives in there. Someone's sending me a link. So someone send me a link to You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. Someone sent me a link to You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet. Yep. A record number of people are sleeping rough in London, with charities reporting a spike in street homelessness. Figures show that 3,103 people were found sleeping rough in the capital between July and September 2018. The first total has exceeded 3,000 in a 3-month period. Charities attribute to the surge of lack of affordable housing. Well, who's going to pay $2 million, Yep. And that's it, people. Cutting it short tonight. It's been a long day. Happy Halloween. But listen, this is, why would you pay $70,000 for this when that's worth $70,000? People are doing it with the housing. 70 grand. 70 grand. You'll be absolute ludicrous to pay $70,000 for that. And people are. In a housing perspective, they're paying 70 grand for that, and they're going around. Look at me! Look at that! I paid 70 grand for this. But when you could just buy that for 70 grand. Anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm getting really tired, guys. It's been a super long day for me. I'm gonna hit the hay. It is already Thursday morning here, so I gotta get some sleep. I'll be at the shop tomorrow. I'll make a few videos for you guys tomorrow while I'm at the shop. Thanks for tagging along for Trends in the Housing Market Halloween edition. This Saturday, Mike in the Night, guys. Don't forget to join me for Mike in the Night. And I'll have open lines for people to call in on Skype. And then I have just regular next Trends in the Housing Market. I'll have open lines, okay, guys? So people call in from every major country. Yeah, someone's telling me to record the guy when he gives me the finger. Yeah, I will. I already have him doing that in my store. couple of times, so, you know, we'll see what happens. Anyways, if you're just tuning in, guys, scroll back to the beginning of the show. It was a decent show. And have a good night, guys. Thanks, everybody for taking the time to spend some time with me tonight. Happy Halloween, everybody, and God bless.